Jesus told 38 parables. They look completely different: a farmer scattering seed, a woman searching for a coin, a son returning to a father, a Samaritan on a road, a merchant hunting for a pearl, 10 virgins waiting with lamps. Different settings, different characters, different outcomes. But they all follow the same three-step architecture, every single one. And when you see it, you realize they were never meant to be illustrations. They were designed to do something else entirely. The Hebrew word is mashal, mem shin lamed. It means comparison, proverb, parable. The verb form means to liken, to place alongside. The Greek New Testament uses parabole, para beside, ballo to throw or place. A parabole is something thrown beside something else, two things put next to each other. Not an explanation, a juxtaposition. This is the key. A parable does not explain the kingdom. It places two things side by side and waits: the farmer, the seed, the soil, and then the kingdom, not labeled, not decoded, placed alongside and left there. The listener has to make the jump. The parable does not make it for you. In the Hebrew wisdom tradition, the mashal was not a teaching device for beginners. It was a test for those willing to sit with something until it opened. Proverbs 1:6 says wisdom involves understanding a mashal. It's listed as one of the marks of a wise person, not a natural capacity, a cultivated one. Every parable Jesus told follows 3 steps. Step 1, a familiar everyday scene. There is nothing supernatural in the setup. A farmer plants, a woman sweeps, a son leaves home, a merchant trades. First-century Galilean life, recognizable to everyone in the crowd. This is intentional. The ordinary world is the entry point. No one is excluded from the image. Step 2, an unexpected reversal. Something breaks the social logic of the world the listener lives in. The Samaritan stops when the priest and Levite didn't. The employer pays everyone the same denarius regardless of hours worked. The father runs in a culture where a patriarch does not run. The merchant sells everything he owns for a single pearl, which is economically irrational. The reversal is always a violation of what the audience expects, and that violation is not a narrative quirk. It is the whole point. The kingdom does not operate by the rules the crowd already knows. Step 3, the kingdom comparison is left implicit. Jesus does not say, and therefore the kingdom of God is X. He either says the kingdom of heaven is like, and leaves the connection open, or he says nothing and closes with a question. The hearer must complete the thought. The parable is an open door, but you have to walk through it yourself. Matthew 13:10. The disciples ask Jesus directly, "Why do you speak to them in parables?" His answer is striking. He does not say, because parables are easier to understand. He says the opposite. Verses 11-13. Because to you it has been given to know the secrets of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it has not been given. For to the one who has, more will be given, and he will have an abundance, but from the one who has not, even what he has will be taken away. This is why I speak to them in parables, because seeing they do not see, and hearing they do not hear, nor do they understand. This is the most uncomfortable thing Jesus says about his own teaching method. He then quotes Isaiah 6:9-10, God's instruction to the prophet at the beginning of his ministry. God tells Isaiah to go and preach to a people who will not understand, whose hearts are dull, whose ears are heavy, whose eyes are closed. Not a description of failure, a description of the mission. Isaiah experienced this as a paradox. Preach to people who won't hear. Jesus identifies himself with the same paradox. He speaks in parables knowing that most of the crowd will go home with a nice story about a farmer and miss everything underneath. But some won't. Some will go home and sit with it, turn it over, come back with questions. And those people, the ones willing to do the work of the gap, receive more. Parables filter. Those who work to understand receive more. Those who listen passively hear only a story about a farmer. The effort is the point. The willingness to sit with the unclear until it opens. Jesus is not trying to confuse anyone. He is testing whether people are interested enough in the kingdom to pursue what it means. The parable demands something from the listener, and not everyone is willing to give it. The lost sheep. Luke 15. A shepherd leaves 99 sheep in the wilderness to find one. No shepherd does this. It's economically irresponsible. One sheep is not worth the risk to 99. The reversal. That's the calculation of the kingdom. Not the economics of risk management, but the logic of pursuit. The one that was lost has a weight in the kingdom that arithmetic cannot measure. The pearl of great price. Matthew 13:45-46. A merchant who deals in fine pearls finds one of extraordinary value. He goes and sells everything he owns, his entire stock, his livelihood, his business. The everyday scene is a merchant doing what merchants do, evaluating pearls, trading. Every first-century listener in a trading economy understood that scene. The reversal. He liquidates everything for one item. No merchant does this. This is not how markets work. It is economically irrational. The pearl cannot be resold for a profit if you have already spent everything acquiring it. The reversal is the point. The kingdom is the thing for which everything else gets traded, not reluctantly, not as sacrifice, but as the obvious move once you have actually seen it. The 10 virgins. Matthew 25. 10 young women are waiting for a bridegroom. 5 bring extra oil for their lamps. 5 bring only what's in the lamp. The groom is delayed. At midnight the cry goes up, "He is coming." The 5 without extra oil ask to borrow from the 5 who have it. The answer is no, not cruelty, but arithmetic. If they share, all 10 lamps go out. The 5 with oil go in. The door closes. The 5 who ran out return and knock. "Lord, open to us." The answer from inside, "I do not know you." The reversal is the locked door. The familiar scene is a wedding celebration. Everyone in the crowd knew this custom. The unexpected thing is that arrival, which was supposed to be the moment of inclusion, becomes the moment of exclusion for half of them. Jesus closes with a command, not an explanation. "Watch therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour." The parable doesn't explain when the groom comes. It insists on readiness for an arrival you cannot time. The parables are not illustrations that make the kingdom easier to grasp. They are stories that reveal whether you're willing to let the kingdom challenge the way you already think. Everyone ends with a gap, not an explanation, a space where you have to decide, does this kingdom make sense, or does it ask more of me than I expected? The shepherd who leaves the 99 is irrational. The merchant who sells everything is reckless. The locked door at midnight is unexpected. The parables keep insisting that the kingdom operates by different rules, not arbitrary rules, better ones, but ones that require the listener to let go of the old ones first. That is why they don't decode themselves. The decoding is the point. Which parable has stayed with you? The one that won't sit quietly? Drop it in the comments, just the name or the reference. And if this kind of structural look at what the text is actually doing is something you want more of, there are more videos right here. We go deep, but not complicated.